There you go. How cool is that? A smart vintage style light bulb. Hi there, today I'm going to be unboxing some vintage style smart bulbs. So these particular bulbs are by a company called Ajax Online. Got some details in the description below for anyone thinking of purchasing. So these two bulbs look identical, but they work differently. So this particular one works over Wi-Fi and requires no hub to work. And this one here is Zigbee certified and works via the Philips HUE and Amazon Echo Plus and any other Zigbee hubs. So let's take a look at the packaging. So it comes nicely packaged with an image of the actual bulb. And if we come in close, obviously one says Wi-Fi, the other one says Zigbee certified. If we turn it sideways, both of them are 7 watts and the fixture to attach it is E27 and they're both A+ rated in terms of power. If I come in close, some more technical specification details, and just to add, you've got remote access, dimming options and energy saving on there as well. Okay, spinning around here, some additional details. So 25,000 hours, 806 lumens and 50,000 times on off. So one thing to note about these bulbs, which are different from any other standard vintage style smart bulbs, is that they actually do warm white and cool white. So no other products on the market like this at the moment, I've been told. Only these can do this. So let's open it up and see what you get in the packaging. Okay, so I've laid out all the items you get in the packaging, so let me quickly go through them one by one. So on this side, you've got everything that came in the Wi-Fi box, and on this side, you've got everything that came in the Zigbee certified box. So very similar content, obviously the bulb, and strangely enough, they give an adapter. So you can actually put it in a bayonet fitting and then screw the bulb straight in. So 2 instruction sheets, one showing obviously how to set it up on a Zigbee certified device, and the other one showing how to connect it to SmartLife or HUE app. Very straightforward. If you own these products already, similar ones that connect to either Zigbee certified devices or SmartLife or HUE, the process is very simple. I'll briefly show you. And both of the packages come with a card that says you can activate a free 1-year warranty. So the build quality of the adapter, plastic and cheapo aluminium in there, seems okay, reasonable quality. Okay, the actual bulb itself looks like a standard size light bulb, and in terms of dimensions, if I bring my ruler in place, you can see top to bottom it's about 10.5 centimeters, I'd say, and the diameter of the actual bulb is around 6. So nice compact design. If I come in close, let me see if I can show this. You can just see subtle writing, obviously branding on there, and it says Zigbee on there. So that's your indication that it's Zigbee certified. And if we have a look on this one says Wi-Fi, so that's how you differentiate between the two. If you look at the actual elements in there, so 4 elements in each one, and you can see a subtle color difference. So 2 of the elements provide the actual warm color, the other one provides the cool color. And looking down below, everything else looks identical, so you really wouldn't know the difference, hence why I thought I'd do one video showing both products in one hit. Okay, so I've got a fixture here, a standard light fitting, and I just wanted to show it being fitted together now. So I've got the adapter here, just to be aware, when you push it down, obviously it's not the right size to push in, so a lot of these adapters are like this. So if I take the top piece off, I can then easily fit this and lock it into position. Okay, so that's one thing to be aware of. And then obviously the bulb just screws straight onto it. Now if you had a fixture which was just a screw-in fixture, then you're fine. You can just screw it in and no issues there. But it's good they do provide the adapter. Okay, so next I'm going to show how to set up the Wi-Fi variant of this bulb. So you will need either the Smart Life app or the HUE app, and obviously you can grab that from the Play Store. I've shown that many a time. So let's start up Smart Life. I've already got an account. If you haven't, obviously register an account. Simple as that. You go in, click the plus, and we go to lighting, click lighting Wi-Fi. Okay, it's now saying turn on the light and ensure it's flashing. So if I just plug it in here at the side, yeah, and now you can see it's flashing away. So if I click confirm, indicator rapidly blink. Okay, so next it's asking for my Wi-Fi password. Obviously it's cached because I've used the app before. Let me click confirm and let's give it a moment. Okay, so there you go. It's found the actual light. So it's called it Wi-Fi Ajax Online. So if we just click done to that, just accept the default. And there you go, as simple as that to add in. If I go back just to show the light here, and that's all you're presented with. So Wi-Fi Ajax Online, there's no shortcuts to turn it on and off or even change any sort of color on this. So if you look at the bulb right now, it's showing quite a bright white glow, so cool white on there. Okay, so next, if I now click here, you can actually change the color. So if I go over to that, it glows more of a warm yellow color, and go back. And what's quite odd about this one, obviously you can alternate between the two. So you can have both on, if I go to the middle, on at the same time. And let me show if that shows quite well. It's quite a tricky one to show. Let me take the brightness down, and if I flip over to one side, you can see two of the elements go off, and if I flip over to the other side, you can see the other elements have gone on. So that's how it works. Obviously it just works off two elements at a time. So they're the options you have there. I'll turn it to the warm color. Let's click complete. And there's a button here. If I click that, that'll turn it off and turn it on. If I click around this area, it doesn't do anything, so you can't increase the brightness by scrolling this way or pressing the icon there. So the options are just at the bottom. Next, if I click here, you've got the schedule, so you can set a timer on this. So set your time you want the action to happen, say when you want it to happen, and then set if you want it to turn on or off, and simple as that. So if I just accept that one, there it is there. So now this is set to every day turn on at 16:24. Now if I didn't want that to happen, I can just click there and that schedule is now disabled. Let's go back, let's click here in the corner, and some basic details you see with all these devices. So device name, device location, check device network, third-party controls it's compatible with. You can share the device, create a group, device information, so that will contain IP address and MAC address details, FAQ and feedback, check for firmware upgrades, and remove device. And that's it, as simple as that. So next, let me quickly show, if I turn off Wi-Fi, give it a moment, it's connected to 4G. If I now press, there you go, it turns off. So it works remotely as well, as simple as that. So there you go, very easy to set up without a hub and connects directly to your Wi-Fi. Okay, so next, let me show how to set up this smart vintage light bulb, the actual version that works with Zigbee with the Philips HUE. So very straightforward. If I click here, and if I now click add light, and let's plug it in. Plugged it in at the side, and let's click search and give it a moment. Okay, so there you go, it's found it. Now if I click next, we can add it into a room. Give it a second. And there you go, it's added in. Okay, so if I now click next, there you go, it's added. Right, so there you go, there's the light. And if I click there, it will turn off all the lights in the room. If I turn it on, that's what you see. You can reduce the brightness here as well. If I click in there, you can actually change the color from here. There you go, relax, read, energize. So they've got different settings for these, and if I click on the edit, you can actually see you can get it very specific to how you want it, or you could go either warm or cool or in between as well. So excellent functionality there. I'll discard those changes, don't really want to change it. And let's go back. If I click here, light setup, you can see the light here. If I go to info, it's got some details there, you can delete it as well. And as simple as that really to set up. Now if I now turn off my Wi-Fi, I've got the cloud connectivity already set up. I've got a video on the Philips HUE as well, so if you're not sure how to get all this set up, I show all the details there. But now it's connected to the cloud via my 4G. If I change it, there you go. Simple as that to set up, and it works remotely easily as well. Okay, so I've set up my Google Home and my Amazon Alexa, and I'm going to show these devices working with these products. So I've got the Zigbee variant of this smart bulb, and we're going to try it out with the Amazon Alexa. So simple as just adding in the skill. So in this instance, I've already added in the skill for the Philips HUE and linked my account. So if I go to devices, click on lights, obviously it's discovered all the devices we've got, and there it is, vintage Zigbee. So you can control it at the side here, so there's a shortcut. So I can turn it off, turn it back on again. Okay, if I go in there, you can actually see the details for it. So you can turn it off from here as well and turn it on again. You can change brightness, it's very bright, and change the actual shade. So let's go for warm white just to show. If I work my way down, it's as simple as that. So very straightforward. And if I come back out. Okay, so next, if I unmute my Amazon Alexa, I can say, change vintage Zigbee brightness to 50%.
Okay.
Change vintage Zigbee color to warm.
Okay.
Alexa, change vintage Zigbee color to cool.
Okay.
There you go, as simple as that to control via the Amazon Alexa. Okay, so next I'm going to show the actual vintage smart bulb being controlled via the Google Home. So if I go into the Home app here, give it a moment, scroll down, obviously I've added in the skill for this, and there you go, vintage Zigbee. So I can turn it off from here, turn it on from there. I can go in there, and again I can adjust the brightness if I required. Color wise, let's have a look, and that's what's available. Flip between it, and there you go, as simple as that. Now if I unmute my Google Home,
the microphone is back on.
I can say, okay Google, change vintage Zigbee color to warm white.
Sure, changing vintage Zigbee to warm white.
Change vintage Zigbee color to cool white.
Okay, changing vintage Zigbee to cool white.
Change vintage Zigbee brightness to 50%.
Alright, setting vintage Zigbee brightness to 50%.
Turn off vintage Zigbee.
Sure, turning vintage Zigbee off.
Okay Google, turn on vintage Zigbee.
Okay, turning on vintage Zigbee.
There you go, as simple as that to control via the Google Home. Okay, so next let me show the actual vintage smart bulb, the actual Wi-Fi variant working with the Amazon Alexa and the Google Home. So if I go into Amazon Alexa app, I've already linked it with the Smart Life skill. So it's found all the bulbs. So if I go to devices, lights, and I scroll down, I've actually called it vintage lamp, which is just here. So if I now click there, turn it off, turn it back on again. If I click in there, you can adjust the brightness as before, so exactly the same. Color as well, you can change to different shades. The default one's there, so excellent functionality. And if I unmute my Amazon Alexa Dot, I can say, turn off vintage lamp.
Okay.
Turn on vintage lamp.
Okay.
There you go, as simple as that to control with your Amazon Alexa. Okay, so next I'm going to show the actual vintage smart bulb, the Wi-Fi edition, working with Google Home. So if I go into the Home app, I've already linked the Smart Life service in here, so nothing more to do. So once it's linked, if I scroll down, I should see vintage lamp in here, and there you go, it's just there. So similar again, turn it off, turn it on, go in there, adjust the brightness, and again adjust the color shade as well on there. If I go to the cool and then go to the warm. So as simple as that. Now if I unmute my Google Home Mini,
back on.
I can say turn off vintage lamp.
Alright, turning the vintage lamp off.
Turn on vintage lamp.
Sure, turning the vintage lamp on.
Okay Google, set vintage lamp brightness to 2%.
Okay, setting the vintage lamp brightness to 2%.
There you go, simple as that to control via the Google Home. So excellent functionality there. Okay, just to show the bulb in pitch darkness, and I'm just going to turn it on now. There you go. And that's on 1% brightness level. So if I now ramp it up to the maximum, that's 100%. So in terms of brightness, it does give a nice amount of brightness. Okay, so you've seen the unboxing and setup of these vintage style smart bulbs. Excellent design, have to admit. The fact that you can transition between cool and warm white, and brightness levels are quite bright on there as well, so quite impressed. Obviously two variants of the device, so you've got the Zigbee certified one here, and you've got the Wi-Fi one which requires no hub just over here. Simple to configure, and it even works with the Google Home and Amazon Alexa. So there you go, hope it's helped anyone thinking of purchasing this. Details are in the description below. Thanks for viewing, and don't forget to like and subscribe.